Hey guys, in this video, we're going to talk about 5 things I wish I knew before buying my first house. So, I purchased my first house when I was 24 in Louisiana, and I learned a lot of things in the process. I used to rent an apartment that was a 1-bedroom apartment in a nice-ish area, and my lease was coming up. So they sent me a notice saying that my renewal was going to go up from $750 to $900 a month. So I decided I wanted to buy a house. And just so you know, I'm not sponsored. I'm going to break this down into 5 tips and 1 bonus tip at the end of the video. So stick around for that. I gotta say, homeownership is great. And if you want to invest in yourself, buying a house will help you build the wealth if done properly. All right, let's get started. So, tip number 1 is preparation is key. You need to make a detailed plan, location, distance to work, actual square feet that you need, price you are willing to pay, things you can live without, and so many other details. Make a detailed plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That's a quote from Benjamin Franklin, who's on the $100 bill. When I started to research different tools to make the process a little bit easier, I use an actual physical notebook to write everything on pen and paper because that works for me. I also use Zillow and Realtor.com to cross-reference and find a house that I wanted. I recommend using both and study their price movements, which is going to bring me to tip number 2. Do not buy a house at the top of your budget. Whenever you choose a mortgage company, and I chose Rocket Loans, they will give you a pre-approval. And for me, they pre-approved me for a house way over what I wanted to spend. So my recommendation here is to make sure that your house payment is going to be comfortable for you and take into consideration your homeowner's insurance and your taxes so you don't end up with a mortgage you can't really pay. I do not recommend a mortgage that goes over 25% of what you make every month. And also, save enough money for closing costs and utility activation. And I recommend having at least 3 months of mortgage payments saved up so that you can have a safety net in case something were to happen. Hey, if you are getting value out of this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe so I can keep making these videos, and check out the links in the video descriptions. Now, let's talk about tip number 3. Pay attention to details. I cannot stress this enough. Make sure that when you are looking at houses that you check for critical things like that will cause major repair costs down the line. Check the house for settlement. In other words, sinking. Check for water leaks, for electrical failures, for gas smell, for other things that you do not want to deal with as soon as you move in. Tip number 4, do not pay for things that you don't want. A new kitchen, new bathroom, new this, new that. And yes, that sounds nice, but only if you really like those things. Remember, you're paying for everything in the house. And if the previous owner decided to put in some brand new marble countertops and you don't like them, then when you buy the house, you're paying for that. Personally, I would rather buy a house that is not remodeled because if the house is livable, I can pay less and add the things I really like and save a lot of money, especially if you are willing to do the work yourself. And that brings me to tip number 5. Get to know the owner. This is the most important tip and the reason I was able to purchase a $145,000 house for $85,000. Get to know the owner. Usually it's hard to get to know the owner because you're mostly going to be dealing with realtors. The owner wants to sell the house for a reason, and finding out that reason can really help you as you negotiate and also find out if there's something critical going on with the house. Getting to know the owner and letting them know that you want to buy the house also helps. The lady who used to own my house had other houses on rent and just wanted to sell the property because she just didn't want to deal with renters anymore. So she said that since it was my first house and it seemed like I was a good person to her, that she would greatly discount the house because the house also needed some repairs and it was outdated. And she knew that I wanted to make the house better. I know these results are not common, but getting to know the owner can greatly help you. And now to my bonus tip. Check out the house during the night and during rain. One of my neighbors failed to do so, and there is a lamppost that is aiming light at one of their higher windows that illuminates the main living area really brightly at night. And now that's not necessarily a bad thing for some, but the light glared his TV and he hated that and had to spend major money moving that window. And another neighbor had an issue with his front yard. When it rains in front of his yard, it floods. So pay attention to those details. And hey, if you found value out of this video, please hit like and subscribe. Check out the links in the video description and share this video with anyone who you think needs this information. And I'll see you on the next one.